This week on the Virtual Boys podcast, it's Fire Emblem Light as we talk about all of the Fire Emblem stuff that's happened in the last few weeks. You're listening to the Virtual Boys podcast by Nintendo City. This podcast is done by four friends that talk about anything and everything Nintendo. Check out our website at nintendocity.com and be sure to follow us on your social network of choice. Please be sure to subscribe and share us with your friends. Oh, and please enjoy our show. Welcome back to the Virtual Boys podcast. This is episode 44. I'm David. Roy's our boy, accompanied today with Skylar.
Great Aether!
James.
I like Girl Marth.
And Jordan.
I fight for friends.
How many friends?
2.
A whole 2 of them?
Benjamin Franklin and Abraham Lincoln. He is a mercenary. Come on.
So today we're going to talk all about Fire Emblem. That's the main goal for this episode. Because, man, Nintendo decided to just throw a bunch of Fire Emblem stuff at us a couple weeks ago. They had a big direct. I mean, we talked about this in our Switch episode where, there's going to be some Fire Emblem information, so stay tuned. And we're finally getting around to recording that because we record in big chunks now. So the trailer came out and we got 3 new things announced. And we'll start with the first one, which is Fire Emblem Heroes. This is the mobile game that released yesterday. The trailer was... kind of not necessarily a surprise because we already knew that Nintendo was working on a mobile handheld game for Fire Emblem along with Animal Crossing, and they finally decided to announce it, and then they just threw it at us, unlike they did with Mario Run and Pokemon Go, where those games took forever to come out. So anyway, let's talk about that. What were your initial impressions watching the trailer during the direct for Fire Emblem Heroes?
It's chibi and weeaboo.
Hey, that's something that I wrote down to ask later. No, but yes, the animation's interesting.
It's very weeboo. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was interested when I first saw it. I noticed like the different art, like not the chibi style necessarily, but each character has kind of its own art style in a sense. I thought it was cool, but yeah, like you guys were saying, very weeaboo kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's a different take on how Fire Emblem is drawn.
Yeah.
And even like if you look at the characters as they move on the screen, they look like itty-bitty chibi characters instead of like sprites like we had on the 3DS.
They remind
they're
me,
definitely chibi.
Right.
They remind me of those characters from, Scribblenauts.
Oh, Scribblenauts.
Scribblenauts characters. Like how they like flop their arms back and forth and their legs like move. They remind me a lot of Scribblenauts characters. I thought it's really cool. I do like how they redrew all the characters. They gave them all new voices. They just like redid all the cast and stuff, which I thought was pretty cool for this app.
Yeah, I think it's nice to have a sense of consistency for how the characters look. Like, they all look like they're from the same series instead of comparing, a character from Face.
Like,
well, maybe not.
Because they have a lot of different... I mean, we can go into that when we talk about, like, having actually played the game. But in regards to, like, first impressions... when I saw it, I felt like, okay, this is the Nintendo mobile game that we really needed.
Yeah.
Mario was great. Pokemon Go was a phenomenon. And that wasn't part of the DNA plan, but Miitomo was okay. It was funny for like the first month, and then we were all done with it.
Yeah,
I have like I've been on it recently, but I see no comments from anyone.
No one's commenting. And so, this Fire Emblem Heroes app, however... It looked like, when I first saw it, it looked like a game that could hold my attention.
Yeah.
Mind you, it wasn't going to be super in-depth. I never thought that. But it looked like it could pass as a game that I could play a lot.
Yeah.
Personally, I think that between Pokemon Go and Mario Run, this is the third most likely to keep my attention.
Huh?
Between all 3 that have launched?
Between all 3 that have launched. I think Mario Run's my favorite of the 3 so far.
That's fair enough, different play styles for different people.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get through the third level of Mario Run. I still can't get through the third Mario level. I tried to play it, and I was like,
This isn't
I think
Mario.
it's a lot of fun trying to get the coins, especially since once you get the 3 coins in the level, then they give you 3 new coins that are harder to get in that same level to
That's
get.
true.
And then there's 3 more that are even harder than that they unlock.
Yeah, I've been doing those. That's why I can't get through the third level.
I've gotten pretty far. I don't know. Maybe also I don't know. This isn't about Mario Run, so let's just move on.
But I mean, it's still part of the mobile scene. I mean, Nintendo, I think with this game has stepped it up again. I mean, Super Mario Run is really cool, but it definitely didn't grab my attention for all that long, and I did not want to sink the money into it. But
See, I just had money lying around because someone gave me an iTunes card, and I was like, "What do I do with this? I don't Apple."
what's an apple?
Apple.
So I just had the money lying around that I just from the gift card, so I was able to get it.
Well,
Yeah.
it really surprised me when they said free to download.
Yeah.
That,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not much of an app gamer, so I guess I don't understand the whole culture behind it. I expected them to maybe $5 on it, but no, it was free to download with in-app purchases, which makes a lot of sense, and it makes it a lot, I don't know, easier for people who are on the fence to just hop on over and try it. Sure, Mario Run had the 3-day or the 3-level trial or whatever it was, but you get the whole game for Fire Emblem Heroes without paying.
See, I don't like that at
Okay.
all. I don't like the free-to-play model where you have to grind through to get all the content that you want, and then you have all the waiting and everything, and it's incentivized to try and get you to pay more, and in the end, you end up paying more than you do if you were to just pay the flat fee of $10.
It's true. Some people pay thousands of dollars on these kind of apps.
It's I actually think it's kind of ridiculous that people's main complaint to Mario Run is that it costs $10 up front, like how every game should be going forward.
I can agree with that. I definitely think that it's good financially for Nintendo, given the audience that they're looking for. You know, teenagers, young adults, and maybe even some kids are going to get this game. And it's like, oh, I want to keep playing. Mom, I need to spend $5 or whatever it is to get more characters and to refill my stamina so I can keep going. I know it's been incredibly successful for other companies with iOS and mobile games. I mean, there's a game that I have on my iPad called 2 Dots. They give you 5 lives. If you fail 5 times on a level, you have to wait like 5 minutes for one of them to regenerate. And I never pay for anything that way, but it's like a nice way to make people want to buy something.
I hate it.
But
I hate waiting. I hate being forced. It's like forced loading screens that aren't needed, and they're 5 hours long.
For the first
Yeah.
week, though, they give out 10 free stamina potions.
Sure.
And you can also get them through your My Nintendo account for 100 coins. So I have tons of coins you don't use. You can just go spend them there. Instead of spending real money, you can get, in-game playtime. So, which is nice. I really like that. That's pretty much what I've been spending all my Fire Emblem coins on. Is just getting stamina potions and shards to level up my characters that way instead of paying for it with actual cash. Which I think is actually kind of expensive, the price points they have. For like 3 of the orbs is $2 or something.
Oh man, and that you can't really do anything with 3 orbs.
No, you can't do anything with 3 orbs. That's really expensive. Because you need 20 to unlock a whole card sheet or whatever they call them, tablet something, to summon all your characters.
Yeah. I think Pokemon Go hit the sweet spot of how much their stuff costs because businesses were able to put money into it and stuff. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing. I wanted to talk about the visual differences between this game and other Fire Emblem games. We talked about that a little bit earlier, but I definitely want to bring that up now. I mean, they definitely went for a more chibi style. Do you guys think that works on the mobile game better than sprites would?
I think so. As much as I like to make fun of it, I do think it's just more vibrant with screens on mobile, and you don't have as much real estate because it's all forced by touch with your finger, and some phones are pretty small, so you don't have a whole lot of space. So making things kind of bloated up that way, just it makes sense from a mobile design perspective.
Yeah. It's like for people who can't really get a Nintendo system or play a Fire Emblem game that way, this is a good substitute for that.
Oh yeah,
but it leaves some desiring of actually playing like a legit Fire Emblem game. I
Well,
suppose.
and I don't think Nintendo ever wants to make a true Fire Emblem game or true of anything on mobile, because these apps are more or less just advertisements to get kids who haven't grown up on a Nintendo system to get acquainted with their IP, so that maybe they will pick up a Nintendo Switch or a 3DS in the future.
Yeah, and I definitely would recommend to a friend, like, hey, if you've never played Fire Emblem, and I think they would like to play Fire Emblem, I'd tell them to get this first so they get a taste of what the gameplay is like. I mean, of course, Fire Emblem on a console or a handheld, a full Fire Emblem game is way more in-depth, and there are way more things that you have to worry about, but this is definitely an easy way to springboard into Fire Emblem, especially since, you know, Fire Emblem is notorious for being completely difficult, but they've like pulled back on that in the last couple of games. But you know, like a lot of people are still kind of afraid of Fire Emblem because of stories that they've heard.
I know I was when they had the GameCube Wii version. I just knew it was going to be a hard game. I wish I would have played it, but anyway, that bygones be bygones and whatnot, the saying goes. So I think, you know, with getting new players, I think the chibi style really fits that.
Yeah,
and it kind of just feels a little more welcoming and vibrant, as Jordan said. So I agree everything is said there. One thing that really struck out to me was just some of the anime styles. You know, let's take a couple examples from Fates. You have Setsuna, who's an archer. She's very much like a head stuck in the clouds kind of a person. But like the way she drew her, like they gave her like a sharp chin. It's very, very sharp. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Like I never was like, whoa. And then you compare that to Hinoka, who's like this warrior princess, but then her face is like the softest thing you've ever seen. It's like, oh my gosh. Like I don't know. I like it, but at the same time, it's like I don't know if this really fits.
Yeah.
I don't know if this fits your
so
personality.
maybe these designs don't quite capture what their character or their personalities are like in the game.
Yeah, I mean,
Arthur's does for sure.
Arthur does. Arthur from Fates looks like
He's
ripped
a
him out of a
comic book hero. He got ripped out of Marvel.
Really does.
It's great.
Now, I love Hinoka. Like Hinoka's one of my favorite characters, but I don't know. It was, and maybe that's why they went with the soft face kind of a style. Because she's supposed to be cute, I guess.
She's a princess.
She's a princess. But anyway, and I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying kind of, it's like, whoa, ho, she put makeup on. I'm just kidding. But anyway, I think the style is very nice, and it's fun to look at the different art styles, and then also have the chibi style too.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Let's move on to some of the gameplay that happens within the mobile app. They cut down the map size immensely. I mean, if you look at a Fire Emblem game and you look at the map size, they can get ginormous. Every single map in this game, as far as I know, is what, a 8x8 grid? How big is it exactly?
Some are smaller.
It might be smaller.
There are some chapters that are slightly larger than others, but not very much larger.
Do you guys like having the cut down map size for these bite-sized little missions?
For mobile, yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, I've played the least out of the four of us, so maybe I don't really know quite yet. But from what I've played, I mean, they shortened everyone's move distance speed as well. To begin with, anyway. So I don't know. They're just supposed to be quick little Fire Emblem matches, because in normal Fire Emblem games, your matches are, say, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and this is on mobile development.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes longer, especially if you go into like Radiant Dawn at the end game.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But this is for mobile, for someone to just take it out of their pocket, play for like a minute, and then put away. Yeah. So it needs to be small maps.
Do a couple missions and then put it down for a while.
I have to keep convincing myself this is not a full Fire Emblem game. Stop complaining about how there are no like menus for attack or all of these different things that you can do within the game when you move it. It's definitely simplified. That being said, I'm not a fan of the default for the character movement and selecting how to attack. they have you just drag the character on top of who you want them to interact with, and then it just automatically does it. And the first couple of rounds, that kind of screwed me over a couple of times because I'm so used to moving my character first and then selecting what to do, that I would move my character, let go, and oops, it stops moving, or he or she doesn't attack, and I'm just like, great, I just wasted my turn with that character. And so
then you're dead.
Yeah, and you're dead. And so what I'd highly recommend for those of you listening is to go into the settings and turn on tap to confirm. Because then you can move the character, or you can cancel the action by clicking back to where they were. And then if you move the character, you then have the chance to select the person that you want to attack. Or if you're standing next to another character, you can choose to heal them or do whatever.
But you still have to grab the character too.
Yes, you have to drag the character to their spot. But when you let go, it's fine, and then you can just tap on the person. I mean, I've been able to move the character over 2 squares, let go, and then tap on the enemy to say I want to attack this person, and it's
really
streamlined it. Yeah, that's how I've been playing like the last
that doesn't
10
work
maps.
for me, but...
So I'd highly recommend doing that. I mean, do you guys like the sliding thing where you slide them on top, or do you like the tap to confirm? Or
to be honest, I've just been doing auto battle mostly. Auto battle. I've just been doing homework and I don't want to keep touching the screen. But hey, when I have been battling with it, I actually just been doing the dragging thing, even though it's it's probably
just gotta get used to it.
It's probably better just to do it the other way, but it's just faster for me. And I'm the kind of guy in Fire Emblem who turns off all animations, turns off all this stuff, just so I can get through a chapter, within half the day or something. But watching the same animations over and over again kind of gets me. But
yeah.
So if I can just drag on top of the person, it just goes right away. That's cool.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine. But the end game does let you have the option, which is really nice.
That's nice.
So
you get options.
Yeah, you have options. One thing that makes me the most mad though is that all the attacks always hit all the time.
Yeah,
there's no dodging. There's none of that. Which there's some units is so I'm not afraid to hit you because I know I'm going to hit you. There's no problem. There's nothing in me missing. There's no gamble in that. It's just I can hit you, no problem.
At least it doesn't have the ridiculous conquest attack rates where it says that it'll hit 90% of the time and then it misses every single time.
Yeah, just because of how that game does calculations and whatever.
But anyway, yeah, I do miss that.
2 things. So with the point and drag thing, or click and drag, whatever. There's times where I accidentally lift my finger off and my unit's just on a separate space where there's no one there, and then it just puts it there. It's
Yeah.
Even when I do have the click to confirm option. So that click to confirm option is only when you're gonna heal someone or when you're attacking someone. It's not when you're moving to a space and not doing anything. At least that's what I've experienced. So, for example, I'll be moving there and I accidentally lift my finger because my mind is racing, and then I am okay, now I know what to do. Oh no, I moved the character. No. So that's a problem, and I wish if you're gonna have tap to confirm, I wish everything was tap to confirm.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. The second thing I wanted to mention was about the gameplay. I do miss the dodging. I wish that was around.
Yeah.
That would fix a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just supposed to be quicker, and if it's always attacking, then I guess that's makes it a little quicker, more. And maybe it gets people to go, hey, for more in-depth play, go get the 3DS version or something like that.
If you want to actually play Fire Emblem,
I'm kidding. I don't know what Fire Emblem is.
Go buy Fates.
Another thing about the gameplay is that when your characters attack, when they get drastically hurt, whatever. An animation comes up and more animation. But have you noticed that the animations for when they're about to die is rather, I don't know,
shred
risque?
Their clothes. Yeah.
It's oh my gosh, this is a whole nother level. This is this is taking, waifu Emblem and putting it on another level. I mean, oh gosh. It's quite, especially when you got characters like Camilla. It's oh no.
It's bad.
I mean, if you're into that kind of stuff, okay. I guess this is the game for you. But I guess they're going for a certain fan base, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay. Next thing I want to just go over briefly is difficulty. How do you guys find the difficulty of this game? I mean, we've talked about how it's quicker and sometimes like easier based on how they'll always hit, but do you guys feel that it's like too easy or that there was more challenge? I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Not at all. I feel like there are easy moments, sure, but there's 3 different difficulties.
Right.
After it's like normal, hard, and then insane, lunatic.
Yeah, same as the other Fire Emblem games.
And so
The new
if
ones.
you really want something ridiculously difficult, there you go. I mean, I haven't played them, mind you, because I'm a scaredy cat. But I feel like the difficulty is there. Is the normal too easy? At times, but there's other times where I'm like, oh man, I'm down to my last character, but checkmate, haha, kind of a thing.
I'm on the final chapter in normal mode, and it's starting to finally like really kick my butt. And then I finished halfway through hard mode as well.
Wow, good job.
So hard mode's fun. It's really good because it's actually a decent challenge. Lunatic mode is going to be like, I hope all your characters are 5 stars and they have all the best stuff, or you're screwed. But that's generally how lunatic mode is anyway.
Question on that: does it cost more stamina to play the harder levels?
Yes, it does. There was the last chapter I played was 11 stamina.
And that was
normal.
Oh, that was normal.
Like
what about
end.
like the hard level, like
hard mode's like
level,
8, 9.
Oh man,
for the beginning stuff.
That's
so they give you 50 stamina to start with, which it seems like a lot, but after you play like quite a few, like 6 or 7 stages, by the end they're pretty much gone.
Lots more waiting for you, Jordan, when you get to the harder difficulties.
unless you just
Wonderful.
get stamina potions, which automatically just refill all your stamina.
I have a feeling I won't get to the harder missions. I'm probably just going to give up or stop playing the game because I get bored of it.
That's perfectly fine.
Real quick, I wanted to just ask, who's your favorite character so far? Like maybe the one that you have on your team that's been a superhero for you. Mine's
Anna.
Roy because I got Roy on my first one. Hannah.
I've done 3 missions.
Oh wow. Anna's the girl.
But Hana's freaking great. Her stat growth is insane.
Look at my
All I have is Anna.
Oh no, Hana.
Who's Hana?
From Fire Emblem Fates. Like, I randomly pulled Hana, but she gets, like, every stat every time she levels up. I'm like, what in the world?
Why weren't you like this in the full game?
Exactly opposite of how you are in Fates. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I like Hana. Tiki is nice, but
Tiki's pretty good.
Wait, so the characters you get are randomly rolled?
Yeah, they're random.
Yeah, when you choose to summon them by spending your orbs. It's a random roll. It's a 3% chance to get a 5-star plus, a 3% chance to get a 5-star, and then it jumps up to like 30% for 4.
36% for a 4-star, and then like 50-something% for a 3-star.
So,
but everyone gets Alphonse and Sharina, right?
Yeah, because they're the main characters of the storyline.
Yeah. They're not that good.
And everyone gets Anna too, right?
Yeah. She's also not that good.
Did you get Varian already?
Yeah, I got Varian.
Okay, so I think everybody gets Varian.
He's also not that good.
No, he's not.
No, he's not that good, but he's useful for me because he's my only archer.
Then I have Matthew and Ray.
Yeah, you get those two.
As soon as I got like a magic user, I swapped Varian out.
So what you do, so you'll probably want to summon. I recommend summoning when you get 20 of the orbs, so that you can get 5 characters at the cheapest price.
Yeah,
so that's just the best way to do it.
Yeah.
So for me, so there's this person called Gwendolyn, and she has the tiniest waist in all of the world, and she's a knight.
Who with heavy armor.
With heavy armor.
It's no wonder she can't move.
Yeah, she can only move one space at a time, people. It's like, she can't, like, she's one of my best units, and she can't attack ever because she can't get to where the enemies are. It's great. No, she needs to eat some steak or something. Anyway.
A salad, something.
But what she does in combat, she's like, hit me, I love it. It's pretty amazing. Now, I have to say this, my strongest unit, though, is Camilla, and in my first summoning I got her 5-star, gold 5-star, and I was like, oh no, this game
just for you, James.
Just for you.
I was like, well, I mean, gosh, I didn't even take you out yet. I mean,
oh no,
she's coming on strong.
Is it getting hot here? Or is it just me?
It's you.
She does well. It is me, but she's pretty strong, but then when it comes to the arrows, it's
Every time.
Tale as old as time. Arrows kill flying units. Except for dragons is on and off, isn't it? Like sometimes they don't
sometimes wyverns are immune to arrows. Sometimes they are killed by them.
Yeah, so in this game, they are killed by them. So there's that. And also Frederick. Frederick's a lot better in this game than he is in Awakening.
Yeah, silly Frederick.
Yeah.
But I actually got Chersh pretty early.
What game is Chersh from?
Awakening.
Oh, that's right.
She's a mount. She has the flying unit called Minerva or whatever. Talks to it a lot, which is actually funny because Minerva, her wyvern, is actually a reference to an old wyvern rider named Minerva.
Yeah, that's actually in this game.
Yeah, that's actually in this game.
In
I was
story
like,
mode.
"Oh, clever!
Oh, there it is.
I get it now."
Ah.
But yeah, I thought that was really cool.
That's what happens when we don't get all the Fire Emblems here in the U.S.
Yeah, so I didn't get Camilla, but I got Chersh, and I've been using Chersh to fly.
Is that
around.
5-star?
She's 3.
Oh, 3.
But she's level 22 on my team now. So
oh man!
Eventually, after the 3 days of or what are they called? Battles, the arena duels.
Mm-hmm.
You get these things called feathers, and you can use those feathers along with stones you earn in the training tower to upgrade your unit from 1 star to the next level of tier of stars.
Ooh, that's nice.
As long as they hit level 20, meaning in most Fire Emblem games you advance a rank.
Right.
So
can they only get 1 star up?
Yeah, 1 star up every
20 levels.
Every 20 levels.
Oh.
So like she's 3 stars right now, so the next time I get feathers or whatever, I level her up to level 4 with 4 stars.
Okay.
And then
and
when she hits 20
stars.
again, then level up to 5 stars.
Awesome.
Time to make your perfect units, everybody.
Exactly. So that's how you make perfect units. So make sure you're participating in arena duels, because that's how you get feathers.
Cool.
I also have Elliot Wood and he sucks. The end.
What?
Yeah.
But he's supposed to be better than Roy.
Hector's way better than both.
I wish I had. I'm asking for Hector. I'm asking for Lynn. And what do they give me? Elliot Wood.
Hector's got the same art style as Arthur. It's great. He's like all edgy and it's so cool.
That's cool.
Hector's great. Such a good personality.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I've got one final question for Fire Emblem Heroes. We were told that they're going to continue supporting this game, adding stuff to it, etc., for quite a long time. Do you guys think it will last, or do you think it'll die off like Pokemon Go has?
Oh, it'll die off.
It depends if they have events or not. Like constant events where they're like, hey, now you can get more feathers this way, or hey, there's a whole slew of new missions available right now, or hey, you can get this stuff for free, or whatever.
I can see them totally doing that. There were some leaked images. Leaked. You got they mined the data mined.
Yeah.
They call it a data mine. Anyway, sorry. They went and data mined the game, and they found that there was Christmas versions of Robin and Tharja.
I don't want to see.
It's February.
No! And the rumor is that this game was supposed to come out before Christmas.
Okay.
And that's why they have the artists already.
Oh,
so there's probably going to be some events. You know how they have the Santa Claus, Pikachu, and everything?
And they're going to pull an Overwatch, have themed events.
It's not an Overwatch. Other things have done it.
Yeah, anyway.
So, I think they'll keep it up. Do I think it's going to last a long time? I don't know. I know in Japan it's already doing really well. And
True.
I don't know. I mean, it just all depends. It's hard to say. I think it will last quite a while.
It's been like 2 days and it's 8th grossing.
Yeah.
In Japan.
Actually, it was like 4th
now.
It's 4th now.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
It's like maybe it's in the 10s here in the US. I'm not sure. I haven't looked in a while, but it was at 14 earlier this afternoon.
Dang.
So, I think it will last a while. Maybe not as like extremely popular as Pokemon Go was, but
Or Mario Run.
or Mario Run.
Maybe.
Well,
I think it's already made more money than Mario Run in Japan.
No.
No, it hasn't.
If it's 4th grossing right now?
No.
Oh, Mario Run's one of the most
Mario Run.
downloaded apps of all time.
Well, yeah, but only 5% of people bought it.
So Mario Run
that's still a
made-
significant chunk. How many people have been spending money on this?
Quite a few.
So the
apparently.
first day, Mario Run made $8 million. And then Fire Emblem's first day Fire Emblem made $2.3 million.
Oh, okay.
So
So yeah, it might just be a time thing then.
yeah.
the Mario Run game was announced at the Apple conference, and so that made people really excited.
That's true.
So,
Well, it's also Mario.
and
This is Fire Emblem.
It's Mario. So, well, I hope it has a good future. It's a fun game. I think that sums this all up. So, cool. Let's move on to the second game that was announced in the Fire Emblem Direct. Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia. Valencia. They spell it like... I swear Nintendo spelled it both ways. But
It's Fire Emblem Gaiden.
Yeah,
Gaiden.
Fire Emblem Gaiden. Anyway, it's a remake of Fire Emblem Gaiden using the Fire Emblem Fates engine with some improvements, right? Like, I think they've got, like, full rain motion where you can move in 3 dimensions and all this kind of cool stuff.
Well, because it's Fire Emblem Gaiden, they also have dungeon crawling
Dungeon
and stuff.
delving.
Yeah. So, what did you guys think when they announced this? I thought it was a big shocker. I wasn't expecting
I was
it.
shocked, not only just because that they're going back and remaking some of the old Fire Emblem games, but that they chose Gaiden.
That's pretty shocking.
Isn't Gaiden like the worst Fire Emblem?
It's one of them.
It's really bad. Like, just from the point of view, like they're just weird things about Gaiden. One is the dungeon delving. 2 is that magic units, they use their own life to cast spells. And
Do we
things.
know if that's going to be in the remake, or are they going to fix
show
that?
I
anything
haven't
about
shown
it.
it, yeah.
So maybe, but either way, I have it pre-ordered for day 1. So
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't listened to our past Fire Emblem episodes, make sure that you pre-order Fire Emblem Day 1, especially if you want the special edition ones, because those, those will be gone fast.
no
It's gonna-
special edition for this one.
It's going to be interesting to see if people will actually like this, because a huge chunk of the Fire Emblem community now are part of the people that just they like doing the dating simulator stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to be in this one.
It doesn't look like there's room for it.
It's adding too much for a remake project.
It's one of the most bare bones character rosters in any Fire Emblem game. Like, there is so few characters in this game.
I think it's the Fire Emblem game with the least amount of dialogue in it total.
It might be.
It might be.
I
think they're gonna add some dialogue and maybe even some characters. At least that's what it sounded like they were gonna do. But
Yeah.
even then, it's still gonna be pretty minimal.
They did that with Shadow Dragon, so
Okay.
I would hope that they would do that. Especially since the character count is so low.
Yeah, but Shadow Dragon also is really, really bad. I don't know. I'm really concerned just because
Really bad.
delving back into those really old Fire Emblem games is really rough. Those games are just really bare bones. They're really difficult to get a hold of. I think it would have been smarter for them to just remake Sacred... Oh, what's Lynn's game? Sacred Blaze?
Blazing Sword.
Blazing Sword.
Blade.
Blazing Sword. I was getting Sacred Stones in my head for some reason. I was like...
One of them, the one before, it's like something sword or hero's blade.
Binding
or
Blade.
Blacking
Binding.
Blade. And then the second one's Blazing Sword or Blade or whatever.
Yeah. So I think it would have made more sense to choose that one because it's one of the older ones. It's also one of the classic ones that are more favored by fans.
I agree. In that
Yeah,
sense.
and then the one with Sigurd is also a better one. I don't know.
Yeah.
There were better picks than Gaiden.
Well, maybe Gaiden just needed a remake, you know? Maybe
Yeah.
they just wanted to see if
Yeah.
they could do better with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in the dungeon crawling, and that's what surprised me the most because I didn't know much about Gaiden before. So when I saw it and they said dungeon crawling, I was like, "Whoa, what? In my Fire Emblem?
Yeah.
What?" And so I thought that was really cool. But I do see what you're saying, Jordan. Why not do the 7th game or the 6th game? You know, like it seems like you can get a little more attention with that and bring Roy's game to the West.
Don't bring Roy's game.
That's the 6th game.
Everyone hates Roy's game.
But like they hate this one too, so it's like, you know, if they had to
Hate
choose
all of them. Remake Path of Radiance. Remake Radiant Dawn.
HD.
HD Fire.
HD. Wow, no, that's what the Switch version is gonna be now. So, and I am shocked, but I'm also happy that I'll get to play Gaiden.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it for sure because I'm such a big Fire Emblem fan. Doesn't mean it's the best Fire Emblem game. Probably not. but I'm still gonna play it either way. They still have my money, basically.
I'm gonna have to see how things go. I haven't even played through all the Fates yet, just because Fire Emblem just hasn't caught my attention in a few years. Ever since Awakening came out, my passion for it has just kind of dwindled a bit.
Too bad.
Awakening is when I got
like
into
blaming,
the series.
Not blaming you or anything. It's
Right.
just, you want a good title, and why do you think? Just real quick, why do you think that is?
Awakening, it's just veered off into directions that it's not what I want out of Fire Emblem.
Yeah, in a way, some people think it's like Fire Emblem selling out, kind of selling out to a different form of media than it originally was intended to be. But I can kind of see that.
Anyway, I just find it really interesting because some people did get into Fire Emblem with Awakening.
Yeah,
most people did.
I definitely did.
I would argue maybe about 70% of Fire Emblem fans started in Awakening now.
And if it weren't for the success of Awakening, we wouldn't have these new games.
Before Awakening, they were hitting like what 250,000 a copy for Fire Emblem.
Yep.
And now it's 2 million. It's a huge jump.
What was it one? Yeah, like 1.4 within the first couple weeks.
Well, that's not including the digital downloads.
I thought it was.
No, they don't track those.
I thought they did.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Pretty
We'll
sure.
have to
they
look
did.
Either way, it's a significantly
still,
higher
yeah,
number.
significantly higher either way. But
Well, that's all the questions I had for Fire Emblem Echo Shadows of Valentia. You guys actually kind of talked about some of the questions without me asking them. So, let's move on to the next thing that was announced, and that is Fire Emblem for Switch.
Sweet.
They gave us an image of just Fire Emblem for Nintendo Switch, and then they're like, well, we'll give you more information about that later.
I don't think they should have even said anything. I mean, this is the same problem that we got with Smash Bros, right? Where they're like, and Smash Bros is being developed. Okay.
And Sakurai's like, what? No, it's not. Sakurai's like, guys, I've been working on Kid Icarus. Just kidding. But,
Smash didn't develop. I think they just want to promise people something.
Honestly, I think it was a great move. Would I love the logo? Yeah. Or an actual logo? Yeah. But giving us a promise of a game that is upcoming and really popular series at the moment, I think that's great. You promise a game for the Switch.
I guess that correlates with what I was saying in a previous episode, that I guess I'm going against my own words because I did want more promises, I suppose. It's just I wish we got like a title or an image or some sort of teaser that it's actually in development, not just in planning stages.
Yeah, it's coming. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that Fire Emblem Warriors game, all that we got, it was Chrom picking up his sword or whatever. So I don't.
And that felt fine. That felt enough.
I guess that's fine.
So they just needed a little bit more for the Switch version.
Where's
That's
your
fair enough.
Where's your proof?
Pixar didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
I'm just incredibly excited that we're getting an HD Fire Emblem. One that's like a console Fire Emblem. We haven't had one of those in a while.
We haven't, not since Radiant Dawn.
Right.
2006, baby.
And
It's
Europe
been
didn't
that
even
long.
get that.
Oh, poor
Really?
Europe.
No, they
Poor
didn't.
Europe.
Poor Europe. They didn't get the best Fire Emblem.
They didn't get the best Fire. They got a raw deal, like really raw deal on that one.
Yeah.
So you guys can take Gem with the band and everything. I keep my Fire Emblem. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, and then just real quick, what are some things that you guys want to see from the next Fire Emblem for Switch?
Well, obviously it needs the HD, let's have a good HD story or gameplay. Not these chibi versions. I understand you can keep some of the shortened sprites or whatever, but let's have some actual 3D models.
Full character models,
Yeah,
baby.
that'd be so cool. And the other thing is, I know you're gonna hate me for this. They need to keep the waifu simulator. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of it, but there are so many people who are huge fans of that.
Yeah, I agree.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
so
they'd
you
have to
keep
keep
it. If you take it out, oh my gosh! Now, future Fire Emblem titles that will be on the Switch, maybe experiment. Try taking it out and see what happens. But for the Switch, it needs that. It really does.
Does it need the kids, though?
To take the kids out, that's just a...
Like, how are they going to retcon that? Like, how are the kids going to fight with their parents?
Well, how are they supposed to in Fates?
See,
They, like, go off into another dimension that's time...
Exactly, so they'll do it in the next one, and the next one.
You still have to be 9 months pregnant with the child. I'm still confused about that. Because you can't just instantly just rip it out of the womb and throw it in a deep realm and, like, it's cooking in the oven.
Well, then on top of
that doesn't work.
On top of that, like, you go into their children's prologues or whatever, and it's like, this person has a relationship with their child. It's like, what? Like, you haven't aged. Your child has.
Your child looks older than you now.
That's why, like, 90% of the children's chapters are parents going to them. Their children's like, you don't understand me, and then goes and runs out somewhere. It's ridiculous.
They really got repetitive.
You don't need children chapters.
You don't, and I think you can make a game with the waifu simulator because you get all the romantic relationships and the quirky conversations without the kids. Sure, you don't get the kid dialogue, but just give more
Kid
other
dialogue
characters.
sucks.
And yeah, usually it sucks. I'm with you, Skylar. I really am.
It's like 90% of those chapters end the same start and end the same way.
I hate my dad!
I hate my dad.
Most
Go
of the
attack
kids,
people.
I don't like most of the kids. There's some of them I do.
Kids are weird.
Yeah.
They're good units, but yeah,
This
they're
is what happens.
Some of them are bad.
This is what happens when you don't grow up
Awakening,
with
they're really
parents in the house. They just send them to the deep realm, and they be like, they just grow up angsty. This is what happens.
So, yeah. Anything else? We're running a little long on the segment. Is there anything else that Switch needs? I mean, I guess we can bring this up at another time when they give us more announcements. So, I don't know. I mean, I just definitely want to see an HD Fire Emblem. That's all I want. Just give it to me.
I think those are my two things I think needs to be in there.
Does it really count as a console Fire Emblem if it's on the Switch?
Yes. It's a
Well, it depends.
console and a portable game.
It depends on how they develop. If they develop it like a 3DS game, no.
If it's 3DS quality,
No. That's not a console, that's a portable game.
portable game.
If it's
every
HD,
time.
then it's a home console.
Okay. Well, that's Fire Emblem for Switch. And then finally, they had Fire Emblem Warriors. Not a whole lot to talk about that. It looks just kind of like a reskin of Hyrule Warriors, but with differences here and there.
Every Warriors game is a reskin. That's all they are. They're
Pretty
all
much.
reskins.
And you can expect a great fan fiction story, just like in Hyrule Warriors.
Hey man, I don't expect any less. They're gonna
But I
make
think
up some
Fire
weird
Emblem-
female character
Yeah.
that hits on the main character who's gonna be Chrom, and then realize
she's
that
half naked.
she can't have Chrom, and then all of a sudden she splits into two people
Why Chrom? Because he's awakening?
because people love Chrom.
Because people came into the series in Awakening.
So
So he's one of the most recognizable Fire Emblem characters
And
now.
Chrom is really pissed that he didn't make it into Smash Bros, so he went and made his own game.
This is
Yeah,
true.
Chrom.
He's in Smash Bros. He's in.
Not really.
Barely.
Barely.
Chrom and the Smash
Final
Bros.
Smash.
characters are the most recognizable Fire
Yeah,
Emblem
you're right.
characters.
No, totally.
Yeah, they would say Awakening and Fate's characters right now are both really recognizable.
Well, I'd still say Ike, Marth, and Roy are up there.
Ike was leading the polls still.
Yeah.
We still don't know what the polls are for that.
Yeah, that'd be nice. It was Ike, Roy, Hector. Hector, of all people,
Ooh.
with number 3. I was like,
And guess who's number one on the female?
Hector!
Lynn.
Lynn was number 1 on the female side.
It's pretty
So-
amazing.
All the Fire Emblem fandom is not lost. I'm just kidding.
The old school fans are still around, huh?
Yeah,
We're still here. They're
They
still
probably
here.
voted so hard.
There's probably like 100 guys who
They made
all
multiple
they
accounts.
did was vote Lynn. For the 13 days, they voted Lynn.
Lynn and Hector.
Lynn and
Lynn and
Hector.
Hector.
They made
Lynn,
bot
Hector, and
accounts.
Ike.
They just made bots so would go in and vote for them.
Just go in and vote for Lynn, Hector, and Ike.
So if they have all those characters in Fire Emblem Warriors, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would be really nice because Lynn's awesome. I love Hector so much. He's way better than Ellie.
I hope they do grab from a lot of the large character pool. They really.
Yeah.
Yep. Fire Emblem is good.
I still wish they replaced Roy with Eliwood in Smash Bros.
That would have made so
They
many
could have
people
just
salty.
named him Eliwood
That
and it would have
been
been okay.
Freaking great. Or at least have a palette swapper skin or something.
But the trailer had to be Elliewood, not Roy.
It's like, it's Elliewood, and half the world's like, who's he? It's like, it's Roy! It's Roy!
Oh,
that's
not
Elliewood.
That's one of those new Fire Emblem characters.
Better yet, put Elliewood's new character or dad in Elbert instead.
Oh, wow.
They all look the same. One just has a mustache.
Oh, and it's a fantastic mustache.
It's perfect, short, cut around the corners,
It's
doesn't go past the
red.
lips. Beautiful.
It's red?
It's red, covered in the blood of his enemies.
Well, great. Thanks for chatting about Fire Emblem with me, guys. There's a lot in store for the future of Fire Emblem, and it's exciting. We'll see how it turns out. All right, we'll be right back. And now it's time for Nintendo News Minute with David. It's that segment of the podcast where I go over big news highlights that happened in the last week of Nintendo. This week, Pokemon Go's Valentine's Day event is now live. Be sure to get out there and catch a lot of pink Pokemon if you're still playing the game. Breath of the Wild is Game Informer's big cover story this month. Be sure to go check out that beautiful artwork and read about what they revealed. Breath of the Wild has also gone gold and is entering production. We're so close to getting that game. The Nintendo Switch Super Bowl ad was a hit, coming in at number 4 on the new product charts. And of course, Fire Emblem Heroes launched, but you probably already know that if you're listening to this episode. Anyway, the Switch is just around the corner, so make sure you stay tuned for our coverage on it. So, if you do want to stay up to date with Nintendo news, check out our website at nintendcity.com and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You can subscribe to the podcast and leave us a review to help others find our show on iTunes and other podcast aggregates. I'd also like to take a minute to say thanks for listening to our podcast. If you would like to help our show and keep it going, please consider donating to us at patreon.com/Nintensity. Again, that's patreon.com/Nintensity. Any little bit counts and will help keep the show and the website alive. We've got so much planned still, so be sure to stay tuned for more from Nintensity and the Virtual Boys podcast. Without any further ado, let's get on to what I've been playing in the last few weeks. Alright, and we're back. And this time, it's my turn to talk about what I've been doing since the last time we recorded, which, again, was clear back at the beginning of December. So there's a bit for me to talk about. I mean, I mostly watched a lot of television over the break, because that's one of the things that I like to do in my spare time when I have absolutely nothing else to do. But I did get to play some games. I got Overwatch for Christmas. We talked about a little tiny bit about Overwatch back in when we discussed the Game Awards because it had won Game of the Year. I dual booted my MacBook Pro to run Windows, and so since I had done that, I asked for it for Christmas, and I ended up getting it. And Overwatch is one of the games that I've had the most fun playing with, just off the bat. It's really fun, and I think that, I mean, since we're a Nintendo-focused podcast, I should bring it into Nintendo a little bit. I think that there are a lot of lessons that Nintendo could learn in the future with a game kind of like Overwatch. I mean, they've got their shooter game in Splatoon, but I think that the way that Overwatch handles online and room building and all this other stuff are lessons that Nintendo needs to take to heart, especially with the paid online features that they're going to deal with in the future. I mean, with Overwatch, I have been disconnected from a server one time in the weeks that I've played, and that was on Christmas Day when tons of people launched the game for the first time. Other than that, I have always been able to find a game within 2 minutes and be able to just play in the meantime. I mean, Nintendo, while you're waiting for a game, they throw you into a skirmish mode, Overwatch. They throw you into a skirmish game where you can just go around and shoot things and have fun with the other players. It's like, if they did something like that with Splatoon, it would make the wait times a lot less heavy. But then again, you're only waiting for 8 players instead of 12. So with Splatoon and Overwatch being 12. I mean, it's just I really, really enjoyed Overwatch, and it's really fun that the game is continually evolving in its meta and everything, and I definitely would recommend it to anyone that has a PC or some other means of playing it. I wish that Nintendo could get it on the Switch, but that probably means that it won't happen because, I mean, it was released last year, and they're more focusing on their PC version than anything else. Anyway, I've also been playing Pokemon Moon. I got Pokemon Moon for Christmas. I already had Sun before. I mean, you can listen to our full review of Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. Playing through it, I definitely love the game. I mean, playing through it again. I haven't finished it because I'm kind of like clearing the routes as I go, making sure that I catch every Pokemon that I can in every route before moving on to the next one. Just kind of filling out my Pokedex and just enjoying it at a leisurely pace. We mentioned that Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon are very relaxed Pokemon games where they make you feel like you're taking a vacation.
Very chill.
And yeah, it's definitely true with my second playthrough of the game. So, and then I have this crazy goal of playing through as many Zelda games as I possibly can before the launch of Breath of the Wild. I highly doubt that I'll get through a whole lot, but I did clear about 3/4 of the original Legend of Zelda in just a couple of hours yesterday or 2 days ago, so maybe I'll get through at least a few of them.
That's a pretty good time.
That is a really good time.
Yeah.
Especially with
That's
the
what I can do.
internets.
It's the internet. Oh,
Bless
yeah,
you,
that's how I get
internet.
the rap. So, that's pretty much it that I've been playing, I think. So, I don't know. Did you guys want to talk a little bit about
You also
the other
finished your
games?
Pokemon bank.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing that I did. I finished my living dex over the break. I did it on Christmas Eve.
Living Dex. Living Dex.
Like, I did it on
Dang
Christmas
it.
Eve.
How
That
that
was my big goal. I'm like, I have to do this before I get Pokemon Moon tomorrow. And I did. And it was the most exciting thing. I mean, just seeing all of the Pokemon filled up was great.
That means I'm the only one that hasn't done it yet.
No, that's me.
Oh, right. How close are you, James?
No, don't talk to me. I don't even have a Pokemon bank.
I don't Living Dex.
I don't living decks.
I was
So,
like, I was
I'm
pretty
about
much like,
72% done, so I got a ways to go. Mine.
I haven't finished. I don't have a living dex yet of the Pokemon introduced in Sun and Moon, but I'm pretty close on that. So, just got to evolve a couple of Pokemon.
Get in the box, Nebby.
Can you connect to Pokemon Bank yet with
No, not yet.
8th Gen? When is that going to happen?
Soon, because they also announced that there's a patch coming for Pokemon Sun and Moon. I mean, probably by the time this episode is published, it'll already be done. But
Yeah, maybe.
there is a patch where they're going to fix a couple of bugs in the game. Like, they're going to fix the bug Pokemon. They aren't supposed to be there, Jordan. Sorry. Oh, that was a terrible joke. I'm just kidding. Anyway,
Get
some
off
of
the stage!
Golisopod's gone!
Bug 2OP.
yeah, some of the bugs were like some of the Pokemon wouldn't learn moves after they evolved at a certain level.
What?
Some of them wouldn't. Some of them do.
Kadabra.
Oh yeah, Kadabra was the one. It would not
Kadabra.
learn confusion when it evolved, and it's supposed to. So they fixed that bug.
Oops.
There are a few balancing
Oopsies.
things that I read that they're fixing. I'm not entirely sure what it means. And hopefully when that patch lands, we'll get access to Pokemon Bank and the National Dex.
Yeah.
Kangaskhan wasn't supposed to be nerfed, it's supposed to be buffed.
It's supposed to hit 3 times.
We only
wonder-
lowered the damage to fit it accordingly.
I wonder if they'll have like a small direct for that announcement at all. Meaning, like, because we have a direct, the direct came. Well,
It'll be
never
interesting
mind.
because
It'll
this
be
will
interesting to
happen
see what
before
will
this
happen.
gets published,
Yeah.
so there's no point in talking about it now.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I changed my mind talking about it.
So, well, that's pretty much all my business. So, I guess that does it for this week's episode of the Virtual Boys podcast. Thanks so much for listening. We really appreciate your support. Don't forget to check out our website, our Facebook, our Twitter, all of the social medias. You can find their links in the description. And please be sure to check out Patreon if you like our show. We'd really appreciate it if you just, could support us at least a little bit. It would go a long way in helping us keep the show running and progressing our future ideas and endeavors with this podcast and our website. Again, thanks so much. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review and share us with your friends. And we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Ciao.
Goodbye, you good people. Okay.